Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a special raffle. Let's go.
Test, test. One, two, two, two. Chip, hot, hot.
Test. Yes. I never thought I would do this. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, at least they can hear me, right? Okay. I got a pretty a loud voice. So, yes. No? Are you trying to butane me right now? What's that? All right. So remember the first thing we're gonna do is the chai boil, and then we're gonna move to croquettes, and from there we're gonna move to the tuna. Okay, that's the game plan.
Water and everything. That coronavirus got him going crazy. Buy a case of water, man. Put it back in there. That's the most I don't know what buy no snack. I got Thursday, Friday. It'll be a Friday time now. Marine sponsor. There's some pork, something, pork belly up there. Don't do that thing. All the pork belly stuff in the car. Candy pork. Candy pork belly. Where you get that from? Yeah, that's over the PX there. Over there. The little bar, what's that place in the PX? Oh, Pat. They said that's the shortest dude in the army right there. Shortest. Yeah, he's the shortest man in the army. Just they cut by inch. Or 10. Little tattoo on there and shit. Them old things that I see. Oh, yeah. I used to take that real serious and shit. I'm like, what? Sure, you said, dog. Your little ass up out of here. Get back in your goddamn car seat, man. That bullshit. Man, back in your car seat, man.
All right, good afternoon. How are you doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming by. My name is Tessan Karen. I'm actually a full service instructor here for the Marine Detachment Fort Lee. Before we begin, I want to say thank you to Senior Master Sergeant Gill for allowing me to do this. My helpers, Tessan Charlotte, Lance Corporal Tallman, and special recognition to my wife on the public. I want to say thank you. I have to recognize her because she hasn't not seen me throughout the week, so it's been really hard. All right, today I'm gonna demonstrate for you 3 hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres are really easy. I know it looks complicated, but it's just in the details. Hors d'oeuvres are usually what we eat before a meal. It's just to get you enticed and get you ready for a meal. Now, my rule of thumb is 1 to 2 bites, and hopefully you have a variety of it. And today we have two that are hot and 1 is cold. So we're gonna have an Iberico ham croquette, potato Iberico ham croquette. We're gonna have also a pulled pork, braised pulled pork with butternut squash and chive oil, and we're also gonna have a Peruvian style ahi tuna with some beets. All right. The first thing we're gonna start is the chive oil. So the chive oil, I know it sounds complicated, but it cannot be easier, and it gives a little oniony flavor to it, to the dish, and it makes it pop. So what we begin with this morning, the oil. What we begin this morning, we shock them. So we put them in hot water, put them in ice to stop the cooking process, and this is what you're left with. Right there. Squeeze them out, pat them dry. Now all you have to do is throw them in the Vitamix. And then as it process, right? As it process, I'm gonna add the extra virgin olive oil. You wanna have almost a smooth paste. You wanna add a little more? And as soon as I know that it's running on itself, it's ready to go. So what we're gonna do next is get the strainer into a bowl. Yes. Gonna put it through a strainer. Gonna add a little more olive oil up down here. Yes. And then all we have left is this right here. This is more of a garnish, and it gives a little more brightness to your dishes. Some simple techniques that will give you more flavor and also more color on your dish. Now for this beer braised pork, we seared it, we gave it some color, and after that we put a lot of herbs, onions, carrots, and celery. And after that, we shred it, reduce the sauce down, so that means evaporating and making it more thin, more thicker, and keeping it hot. Also, the butternut squash puree, we roasted at 375 until it had color, and it was ready to process. After you put it on the blender, you just add a little heavy cream and some mascarpone cheese to give it a little cheese and more richness to your dish. Now after this is done, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the croquettes. So this one is potato. We made our base with a classical sauce called bechamel, which is just a milk sauce made with roux. Thicken it with roux. We let it reduce down for about 30 minutes. After that was done, I have a 3 breading station, some flour, some eggs, and some breadcrumbs. I got some Gruyere cheese, nutmeg, and the best part about this dish, in my opinion, is the Iberico ham. So Iberico ham is a Spanish cured leg of pork, similar to pancetta or prosciutto, okay? So for the mash, what we did was we boiled the potatoes after it with heavy salted water. After it was done, we dried them, and the dryness gives it a little more fluffiness to the potatoes. And afterwards, we season it with some salt and pepper. After that, all you have to do is add all the Iberico ham. And be careful with the salt when you're salting these potatoes, because the ham is kind of salty. We're gonna add our bechamel. We're gonna mix it. You want it to be smooth, so once you cut into that croquette, it holds its form. You cut, it's supposed to ooze out cheese or whatever you want to put inside. So we also made a romesco sauce for this. Anybody has nut allergies? Great. So we toasted almonds and hazelnuts, roasted some peppers, 3 red, 1 yellow, and after it was roasted, we took out the skin. And we put it in the blender as well. It's a little paste. It's really nutty and it's really good. And it blends well with the cheese. Can I get some more of that bechamel, please?
So ladies and gentlemen, today's next specialist round for receiving the ball. Here goes specialist round.
And this is almost what you want to see. Thank you. Also, the best thing about this, when you have a dinner, you can pre-roll them, put them in the freezer, and when it's time for the dinner, about 45 minutes before, you fry them and keep them in a low oven, uncovered. It holds very well as well. So This is about the consistency you want to see. After a while, I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg. And cheese. Who likes cheese? All right, so a lot of cheese. Before you start rolling them, suggest you test your product. This is what you want to see now. For rolling them out, the cool trick about this is you grab one of these, a 1 ounce ice cream scoop, and then you will have this ready. I'll take one, you form it, get it in the flour, into the egg, into the breadcrumbs. Don't worry, we have more for you. And that is one right there, all right? All right, while they make more for you, we're gonna move on to this tuna. Now for the tuna, we got sushi ahi grade tuna. And we have a marinade with ahi amarillo paste, some oyster sauce, some garlic, togarashi, and some lime juice. They sell these at the store. Sorry, I didn't know it was open. I guess it happens. So the first thing we're gonna do, always keep your tuna cold and always keep it over here with paper towels so it never corrodes or it goes bad immediately, all right? One thing for tuna, for any fish, do you guys know how it's supposed to smell? What's that? Like not like the sea. Now if it smells like fish, then So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make this marinade. So the marinade, like I said, the ahi amarillo paste is extremely spicy, but it's gonna be well balanced. Take about a tablespoon of it. Then we're gonna take some ginger that I already peeled. And we're gonna put it through the zester. Now what the mix is, you take all the fibers out, and as well it brings out that fragrant smell of the ginger. Anybody got any questions about what I covered so far? No? right, so we got our ginger, our ají amarillo paste. I'm gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce. Oops. We're gonna add a little bit of our sesame seed oil. Let's leave that for later. Some soy sauce.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team France are in Indonesia. Go middle.
Some lime
Ladies and
juice.
gentlemen, please put your hands together for CS1 Peterson from U.S. Coast Guard, earning the ACF bronze medal.
Like I said, you want to taste your product. More soy sauce. And a little bit more oyster. Some sesame seed oil. And that's what you will get. Alright? I'm gonna keep this here. Now let's move on to the tuna. So now, I'm gonna slice it very thinly, as well as keep it at cold. Now the trick to this is to make sure that your knife is really sharp, so when you cut into it, you have smooth cuts. You don't have ridges because you're trying to go back and go back and go back. So we're gonna take it and go like this, really thinly, and just cut in it. That's what you will get. That's a little too thin, but we'll make it work. Who has ever had a dinner party and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, and all that? This is simple, straight to the point. What's that? So we're gonna keep them over here. I'm gonna keep cutting. You can also take the Iberico ham and have slices already and serve it with cheese, olive oil, olives. And you can keep it simple. You don't always have to sell solid. So. So for the beets, we took yellow beets and red beets. We cut the tops off, we put it in tin foil with some olive oil, some salt and pepper, roast them until they were fork tender, and after they were fork tender, we cut it into little cubes. So it gives you a little earthiness to the dish, as well as sweetness. These pieces are not good. Move on. Yes. take all my pieces and put it over here again. More like sushi over here. It's about the same concept. I know my wife doesn't like it. I make this dish almost on a weekly basis. She don't eat it. You gotta keep it cold. Now, for the beets. This is what you will get. So I suggest you try to keep them separate so the red doesn't bleed into the yellow, and that way you have more vibrant colors as well. So now I'm gonna pour a little bit of the marinade on top just to start giving it flavor. Mhm. We're gonna keep it right there. Now, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give you the pork. Plate one pork is as it should look, because most of our components are done. Like I said, you can pre-cook this, and the beauty of about this pork is you can braise it, and after it's done, you shred it, keep the juices, keep it on the warmer. It's quick and easy. So,
All right, put your hands together for the third lead for 4 by lane.
yes, that's fine. Got the chop oil? Sure. So this is our butternut squash puree. Bring it over here and have it as a base for your dish. Bring it down. Making sure my edges are clean. Could I get the micro herbs, please? Micro herbs. Put some of the pork. Yes, sir. And then you can have this for garnish. They actually sell these in most specialty stores, but they give a little vibrant color to the dish. And that's our first hors d'oeuvre right there. All right, pretty simple and easy, right? Now we're gonna move on to our tuna. So what I like to do is I take a little bit of these, put them straight down. I'll take my tuna. And you want to treat your guests well. So about two little slices. Can I get my plating spatula, please? Yes. Take two thin slices. Trying to keep it all in the middle. Because the highlight is the tuna, not the beets. The beets is just a guest actor. We're gonna pour more marinade on top. That's me all the time shaking on when it's plated. So, a little bit of togarashi. And then for these, if they're too big, you just pick them off. One on top. And that's it. All right, now I'm gonna present to you the croquette. Like I said, you can make it ahead of time. It also serves as a dip because it has a little bit of hummus texture to it. We're gonna put it as a base so our croquette doesn't slide everywhere. Thank you. And some more micro herbs. No. Yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our hors d'oeuvres. We're gonna portion more out for you to eat. And thank you for coming.